Gregor Samsa awoke one morning from uneasy dream.
He found himself transformed in his bed into a gigantic insect.
His numerous legs, which were pitifully thin compared to the rest of his bulk, waved helplessly before him.
What has happened to me?
He thought.
It was no dream.
He looked at the alarm clock ticking on the chest.
6:30 and the hands were quietly moving on.
Gregor! Gregor!
Said a voice.
That gentle voice.
It was his mother's.
His mother.
His mother's.
His mother's. His mother's.
I'm Gregor Samsa. There's my sister Greta.
There's brother Gregor.
Hello, Greta.
I always went up to him.
Glass of milk on the table, then bed. Up again at 4 a.m. Yes, 4 a.m. To catch the 5 a.m. train.
He doesn't come home often.
Daily. What a life. What an exhausting job. And I picked it.
He works so hard.
I picked it. I'm a commercial traveller in the cloth trade. I have to work to keep them.
But he also makes things at
Well,
home.
who else can do it? Father's ill, so they rely totally on me.
He recently made a picture frame, and in it he put a picture cutout of an illustrated magazine.
On my back it rests. Their fortunes rest on my back like a great weight.
It shows a lady with a fur cap and fur stole sitting upright and holding out to the spectator a huge fur muff into which the whole of her forearm had vanished.
Oh, the warehouse was better. One didn't have to worry about the travelling.
It was very good.
I feel sick. Thanks. You're up late. Why are you in bed?
I thought I'd wait up for you. What's the matter?
My back aches. Must have been carrying those samples all day.
Did you sell much?
Not as much as last week.
No! Oh, never mind. It'll be better tomorrow.
Perhaps.
Of course it will.
Listen!
What?
It's raining again. Hear it beating on the window gutter.
It's been raining for ages.
Oh, God.
What is it?
I'm so exhausted.
Go to bed then.
Always tired. Travelling day in, day out. On top of worrying about train connections, snatching odd meals, and if I arrive late at some small town, trudging the streets, trying to find a hotel. Oh!
I thought you preferred it to the warehouse.
Not anymore. A man needs his sleep.
Well, go to bed then.
The other travellers have it easy. They're still at breakfast when I've arrived with the morning's orders. Sometimes it's still dark out when I leave, and the mornings are so empty and bitterly cold. I think that's why I've got to stiff back.
Why don't you leave?
I will one day. Rest assured, as soon as I paid off my father's debt to him, I'll go right up to the chief clerk himself and tell him what I can give him.
Oh, that would be fun. Imagine his face.
Knock him sideways if I did that. He's such a strange man. He's got a strange habit of looking down to me, and I have to crane my neck to hear him because he's hard of hearing.
Is there much to pay off?
Should take another 5 years.
Oh! Oh, as long as that.
Then I'll cut myself loose.
Good. And if you're lucky, it might be sooner.
And that's another thing. You're always making casual acquaintances.
Boys, what ho!
And before you've time to become friends, you're off again. Oh, I don't know what's happening to me. All my joints feel stiff.
Perhaps you shouldn't go in tomorrow. Yes, don't go in. I'll fetch you a doctor in the morning.
No!
Why not?
It would look suspicious.
Well, I've not had a day's illness in 5 years.
The chief clerk himself would come round and put it all down to laziness.
Well, feel quite well, really, so they wouldn't be wrong, would they?
But you look so tired and pale.
That's the penalty for being a good salesman.
Oh, Gregor, you're so good to us.
Go to bed then.
And have a good night's sleep.
And I'll make you a lovely breakfast in the morning.
Oh, I could sleep forever. Oh. Good night, Greta.
Good night, Gregor.
It's 6:30. Where's Gregor?
Oh dear, perhaps the alarm clock's not gone off.
Did you set it?
Set it, yes, I set it for 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock?
Yes, I set it properly.
That ear-splitting noise should have woken him.
Gregor! Oh, Gregor, it's 7:15 already. Shouldn't you have been up?
Yes. Thank you, Mother. I'm getting up now. Wow. What's happened to me? Everything seems the same, but it's still raining outside. What's wrong with my legs? I can't move my legs. It's a bad dream. Turn over. It's a bad dream. I can't turn.
Gregor!
Shut my eyes. I'm dreaming. Go away. It's nonsense. It's nonsense.
Gregor?
Oh, I have to work. It's 7:15. My samples aren't been packed yet, and even if I caught the next train's at 7. I have to catch that train, but I knew I was sick yesterday.
Gregor, aren't you feeling well? Are you needing something?
I'm just ready. Won't be a minute.
Gregor, open the door, please do.
Yes, soon.
That's bound to be somebody from the warehouse.
The porter would have reported his failure to turn up.
That porter was the boss's bootlicker. Spineless and stupid, it's sure to be him.
No, Mr. Samsa, it's the chief clerk.
Young Mr. Samsa's not been in this morning.
Mrs. Samsa. Good morning. Thought I'd drop round. See what the trouble is?
Snoop! Chief Clerk himself.
I'm terribly sorry, but our son's not feeling well. I don't quite know what's the matter. It's very unlike him. He's very conscientious, as you know. Thinks of nothing but his work.
What a villain. Isn't it possible to be a couple of hours late without sending the Chief Clerk himself to investigate, giving my family something fresh to worry about?
Gregor, the chief clerk's here.
He's worried.
Why are you not at work?
I know! I only want to get up without disturbing one and have my breakfast, put my clothes on and I must push! Harder! Ah!
Sounds like something fell in the next room.
Gregor, the chief clerk himself has come down to see you.
Gregor?
He's really not well, believe me.
Wants to know why you didn't go in today.
What else would make him miss the train?
We don't know what to say to him.
He thinks of nothing but his work.
Besides, he wants to talk to you privately.
Gregor! It makes me almost cross the way he never goes out in the evenings.
So please open the door.
Dancing and things like that.
He won't mind if your room's untidy.
Sits reading or studying the railway timetable.
Please, Gregor, you'll get in trouble.
The only amusement he gets is doing fret work. He's very clever with his hands.
Ah!
I'm sure he's unwell.
It's not like him.
I can't think of any other explanation, madam. And while I hope it's not serious, I must say that in business one must ignore slight indisposition.
Work must go on.
Yes, well, I absolutely agree. Well, I hope it's not slight. I mean, not serious. Oh, I don't know.
Gregor, once and for all, will you let the chief clerk in?
Leave me in peace!
Mr. Samsa! What is the matter with you? Why have you barricaded yourself into your room, just answering yes and no all the time, causing your good parents a great deal of trouble, and neglecting your business duties in an incredible fashion? You amaze me. You really amaze me. I always thought you quiet and dependable, but now you seem bent on making a disgraceful exhibition of yourself. The chief did suggest that a possible reason for your disappearance were the funds that you were entrusted with. I, of course, believed you, but seeing you now makes me doubt the wisdom of my actions.
He's an honest boy.
Never do that.
No, never! Please, Gregor, open the door!
Have you got another key?
Another key? I don't think so.
We never needed one before.
Does he always lock himself in?
Oh, well, he never used to. It's a habit he got into through travelling in strange hotels. He said that you should always lock the door at night. He's very prudent like that.
I intended to discuss this with him in private. Seeing as he's wasted my time, I don't see why I should.
For some time past, his work at the firm has not been up to scratch, Mr. Samson. And this can't go on much longer.
Sir, I'm going to open the door this very minute.
Slight illness. An attack of giddiness.
Ah!
Kept me in my bed.
I'm coming. Wait a minute.
Sudden attack.
Ah!
Be as right as rain.
Oh.
No foundations in your report.
No one said anything to me.
You should have looked at my last order.
They're my parents. Oh, I'll catch the 8 o'clock train.
Don't let me detain you.
Please send my excuses to the chief.
Did you make out a word of it? Is he trying to make fools of us?
Oh dear. Perhaps he's terribly ill and we're tormenting him.
My son has never behaved like this.
No respect!
Greta! Gregor is ill. Go for a doctor.
My son, open the door.
The man's mad.
Go quickly. Did you hear the way he was speaking?
It was positively inhuman.
My son.
Oh dear. I'll boil a kettle.
Why were they so upset?
A. Because I wouldn't get up and let the chief clerk in.
B. Because I was in danger of losing my job.
C. Because the chief would start nagging my parents for money again.
Surely these were things one needed to worry about now.
I'm not really well.
What confusion. Was his absence such a crime that no less a person than Chief Clerk himself could investigate?
What a fate. To work for employers where the slightest failing causes the greatest suspicion.
He's probably more tormented than all of us.
He need only open the door to put an end to all suspicion.
Gregor, open the door!
Come on, Gregor!
Gregor was quite unpracticed in walking backwards, and he was afraid of annoying his father even further by the slowness of such a rotation.
His father, on his part, had no intention of opening the door. Nevertheless, wanted him out of the room as soon as possible.
Oh, God.
Crushed by body. Returning to my room.
Flanks bruised.
Oh, God.
I've damaged my leg. Will it heal? Will it heal?
Don't let the neighbours see. Lock the door. Shut the curtains. The Chief Clerk! He must be sued, detained, won over. The whole future of the family and Gregor depends on it.
Yes, he mustn't return to the warehouse in that frame of mind.
He's partial to ladies and will be guided by them.
He's already down the stairs.
He's on the street.
He takes one last look backwards. He's gone.
I can just imagine the story the chief clerk will tell my colleagues. How their ears will prick up. They'll draw lots to see who takes over my area. Oh.
Isn't it curious how one plucks shreds of comfort even from disaster?
The fact that I was now the centre of attention gave me no small tinge of pleasure.
For a few moments that morning, I thought I was dreaming. But the dream stayed.
What a quiet life our family's been leading.
And as he sat there, motionless, staring into the darkness,
He felt great pride he'd been able to provide for his parents
and sister,
in such a fine flat.
but what if all the quiet, the comfort, the contentment were to end in horror?
If only we could have sat down quietly and worked out a solution. The chief clerk created the panic.
What?
You hear? He's moving about. He must have woken up.
Oh, poor Gregor! Oh, he must be thirsty. He's had nothing to drink all day. I'll give him some milk. He likes milk in the evenings. Oh, no!
Mother, don't be upset. It doesn't help us to be upset. It'll only make him upset if he hears you.
Yes, you're right. I must be strong. Must be strong. Oh, I expect he's hungry. What do you think he eats? We'll give him the milk.
Ah, well.
It's all right. Just give me a minute more. How can you sit there and let your daughter go in there?
You go in there then. You've been crying over him. He's still your beloved son.
Our son!
Our son? You can't call that thing in there our son. Our son's less son.
Don't say that. He's coming back to us. He probably needs us more than ever. He's so alone. What must he be thinking in there that we find him disgusting? No. We mustn't show him that.
We mustn't feel that.
No, never.
We'll go with you.
Gregor? There's some milk for you.
I like milk in the morning. It's my favourite drink. Mother leaves it for me every morning at 4 a.m. to catch the 5 a.m. train. Daily.
So long, lad!
Goodbye, Father!
Good luck, Gregor!
Goodbye, Greta!
Don't forget to drink your milk!
No, Mother!
He's probably ashamed to drink it with us listening to him. Let's go away.
I don't like milk anymore. It's revolting to me.
Bring me something more to my taste.
I'm starving to death.
Greta, have you,
No, not yet.
did he?
I don't know. I haven't checked.
Would you?
What is it? Well, he has to be somewhere.
Did he
Couldn't
drink-
fly away, could he?
Did he drink it?
He obviously doesn't like it anymore.
Oh, he's so unhappy. That's why he's not eating.
He spilled the milk, so he obviously must have tried it.
Well, what do you think he eats?
I don't know. I know! Let's put out lots of bits and pieces and we'll see from what he leaves what he likes.
Ah, yes. That's the best thing to do.
Some old carrots and greens, potatoes and cauliflowers.
Oh, this cheese is old. I don't suppose anyone would miss it.
Here's a stale loaf.
Yes!
Ooh, a buttered roll.
Yes!
Apples.
Yes!
not.
Yes! Yes!
That should do.
What about the remains of last night's stew?
Come, Greta, finish your breakfast. He seems to be enjoying his now. Come on, Father. Take no notice of him, Father.
It's a bit difficult, isn't it?
Well, the only thing to do then is to make more noise than he does. Then we won't hear him.
Oh, I'm so full of joy and satisfaction.
God, I was starving.
I like the cheese particularly.
But can't stand the smell of the fresher food.
He's gone very quiet. Yes. Let's clean his room, Greta. Turn the key slowly. That's his signal to retreat.
His body is so swollen he can hardly breathe.
Never mind.
His eyes are bulging out of his head.
Clean his room. We'll put what he doesn't eat into a bucket.
Quiet! I don't want to hear any more. Do you understand me? Do I make myself clear? No more!
Don't raise your voice in this house.
I'll raise my voice if I want to. It's my house. My house!
Is it? Gregor installed us here as you retired yourself from work. We had to depend on him for money. We could never have afforded it without him.
Terrible thing if a son supports his parents in their declining years. I've kept you all long enough.
Please don't, Father. Why are you angry? It doesn't solve anything.
I don't care if it solves anything or not. I can't sit at the table without hearing him scratching around!
Greta, in future, feed him before we get up.
Yes, Mother.
We wish to spare your father as much anxiety as possible.
You know how I look forward to my breakfast in the morning? Rolls all hot and fresh from the bakery. And the smell of an early morning newspaper. And coffee smells. I don't have much to look forward to in life. That's one of them.
Greta won't feed him anymore in your presence.
all right. Don't look at me as if I was some idiot you had to humour.
Don't you think, instead of avoiding the subject, we should discuss it?
Oh, Greta, how sensible!
That way, if we put it out in the open, it won't seem so terrible, and we can put our heads together and come up with a solution.
Yes, if only we could do that.
Greta took it on herself to take sole charge of me, as she was the only one who dared come into my room and inform the family of my progress.
Well, he's eaten all his food today.
Or,
Everything's been left standing again.
or,
He hasn't eaten now for 2 days.
I can hear you! You think, because you can't understand me, that I can't understand you, but I can! I can!
There's only one potato left. That's for Father.
No, thank you, Mother. Here you are, Greta.
I don't need any more food. I wish you'd have it, Mother.
I want no more of this silly nonsense.
Sorry, it was all my fault.
No, it wasn't. It's nobody's fault. Timmy, what to do about a potato? It won't go to waste. We'll give it to Gregor. Oh, Father. Why don't you let Greta go out and get you a beer?
Yes, Father. Like you used to have after your supper.
No, thank you, Greta.
Go on, Father. You know you like a beer after your supper.
There's not enough money for potatoes. There's not enough money for beer.
Did you hear that?
Perhaps he
can understand us.
Of course not.
How do you know? How can you tell?
Maybe he should listen. Wouldn't hurt him to know. Maybe he should know. And he'd know what his indisposition has caused us, and how we're suffering on his account. Making a fine salesman, that lad. Could have earned himself a royal salary.
That secret plan to send you to the conservatorium to study. Wonderful. Look at it. Come on, Father. Ready? Oh, wonderful.
And now I would like to propose a small toast. First of all, to our dear mother for the most wonderful Christmas dinners.
Yeah.
To our dear father, and may he spend his last years comfortably smoking Havana cigars. And now, a toast to my talented little sister and a little secret as well.
Oh, Gregor, do tell us, what is it?
I'm not really sure that I should yet.
Go on, Gregor, you've gone this far now, you must.
Well, I'm determined that one day our little one should play the violin in the grand orchestra, and, despite great expense, I am sending her to study at the conservatorium.
Oh, Gregor, what a wonderful, wonderful thing you give us. My lovely brother. I can't believe it, I'm so happy.
The conservatorium. My word. Soon we'll be seeing the great Greta Samsa playing at the concert hall and saying that's our very own daughter.
Oh, wonderful.
Dreams. He never did send Greta to the conservatorium.
But he meant well.
Investments. That certain investments have survived the wreck of our misfortune.
Yes?
Not all the money Gregor brought home was spent. I had been shrewd enough to invest something.
Yes? Yes?
And now, the brokers inform me the investments have grown.
Oh, Father, how fortunate we were beginning to need so many things.
Whilst it'll still be sufficient for rent, and to put aside for a rainy day,
Yes, that's most important.
we'll still need to cover our expenses.
Well, of course. Let me work. I'm longing to go out to work.
I suppose you could take in the washing, as your mother did in the bad old days.
But only until Gregor is better.
We don't know that.
Well, bringing in the washing won't take in much.
I could go back to work. I could do some stock checking or bookkeeping. I should have started again instead of depending on him.
But who was to know?
I should have. There was always something about Gregor that was strange.
Gregor? Strange?
Yes, Gregor. Although he worked hard, he never really liked work. He downright resented it.
Well, how can you say that when he worked so hard?
Well, I know he worked hard, but did you ever see his face after he'd come home sometimes? It was hard, with resentment, as if he was saying, it's for you I'm doing this.
But stop feeling guilty, Father, because we lived off him. He stopped this house from crumbling.
I don't want to hear you talking like
But
that.
if he toiled and slaved at something he resented, perhaps that's why he's left us now.
I've not left you. I didn't resent anything. Even if I didn't keep much money myself, I didn't resent it.
God, you make me so ashamed.
I could hide away forever.
Oh, if I could only speak to you, Greta. If I could only thank you for looking after me, perhaps you'd all get used to me. I can't stand your silence. I must speak. I must gather all my strength together and speak to her.
It's time to feed him, Greta.
I won't try and speak again.
I know I'm repulsive and I'll carry on being repulsive.
How brave of you, Greta, to come here But he couldn't. He could only make a squeaking sound. And I ran out, as if he was something filthy and disgusting, my own Gregor.
You're very brave, Greta.
Usually he hides before I clear his room, as if he knows how lonesome he is.
She's very good to him, the way she ministers to him.
But today, he just stood there. I felt sick.
Perhaps he was trying to thank her. He was always very polite.
He just stares out of his window, stares out at his old world.
Everything's growing dimmer. It looks like a desert waste of grey sky and grey land. Everything's grey. Everything.
All right, up we get.
Come on, off it comes. Get it on.
What?
Father!
I can see my face clearly.
Certainly give you a smart uniform.
I suppose the lowly office of bank messenger entitles you to look like a general.
There we are, all ready.
Oh, Father, how handsome you look.
Are you sure you'll be all right whilst I'm out?
Of course we will.
I don't like leaving you alone in the house.
Oh, Father, we're perfectly safe.
Gregor's not going to bite us.
What's he been doing?
He's been sleeping a lot, and he's eating all his food.
Oh, poor Gregor. He must be so lonely and bored. I must go and see him. Perhaps he needs me.
In his state, all he wants is feeding. He wouldn't thank you to have you see him like that.
But he is still my son! Don't you understand? No matter what, he is still my unfortunate child, and I must see him!
If you keep talking like this, I'll take off my coat and stay here!
No. No, I shan't go up there. I don't think I could bear it. Go to work, Father. You look very smart. Don't worry about me.
Understand, dear, for your own good. Hold on to the key.
Yes, Father.
I so want to see my mother. It's been so long since I've seen her.
Perhaps I'm too hideous to ever see her again.
You think he's well, you say?
He seems to be. He doesn't moan as much as he used to.
But you said that he didn't have enough room.
I don't think so. I want to shift some furniture so he's got room to move about in.
No, it's too heavy. You'll never manage it alone.
Father will help you.
Your father will never go in there.
Then I'll do it myself.
Listen, Greta. I'll help you. Please understand how necessary it is for a mother to see her son. No matter what. And perhaps how necessary it is for him to see her. So we'll just shift some of the furniture that hinders him before Father comes back.
Are you sure?
Yes. Yes.
Wait! What should we take first?
What about the bed? He doesn't need that anymore.
You're turning my room into a naked den for some wild beast to roam in.
Leave it!
If you empty my room, I'll forget who I am. I'll lose all recollection of my humanity. No!
It's sunk in.
Could that have been you, Father? You used to lie so wearily sunk as I set off to work. Do you used to welcome me as I returned, still in your dressing gown. You, who could never rise to your feet, who could only raise a feeble arm, who on Sundays walked between me and my mother, walking along with your stick at an even slower rate than us. Where did you get such strength? You threw that apple so hard. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Je suis tu es il est nous sommes vous êtes ils sont je vais tu vas il va.
No, Greta. You've been saying those verbs for the last 3 hours. Isn't it time you gave it a rest?
Look at him. The great general. Just reads the paper and sleeps. Doesn't care that you want to improve yourself. Oh, I can't stand him looking like that. Come, father, you'll not sleep properly here. Let's get you to bed.
No, leave me alone!
Look at yourself. Sleeping in your nice, smart uniform. You never take it off anymore. What must they think of you at the bank?
I want to wear my uniform all the time. That's my business.
What's he doing?
I think he's sleeping. The apple's still stuck.
Oh dear. Yes. I hoped he'd be able to get rid of it.
He can't reach.
Listen, Greta. Isn't there something you could do?
The apple.
I can't. I just can't run that. Well, I would, but I'm afraid of fainting.
I'll do it. He's only used to having me there anyway.
Then do it, Greta, please. Else he'll think we don't care.
Yes. I'll do it tomorrow.
Don't worry, Gregor. You're not being forgotten by your old mother. She'll look after you if nobody else does. Have it all clean for you to roam around in. Don't worry. We won't have a char lady in here. Nobody will have to see you. You'll soon be well. I can feel it. As soon as the weather starts to break and the cold winds go, we'll get a bit of spring in the air. And one morning, you'll wake up and see that it's all been a nasty dream.
That should be the lodgers for the room!
Lodgers! Sir, do come in!
It's warm.
Pleasant. A little cramped, but it will do.
I'm sure we can make it comfortable.
It's a very friendly household. Just say the word and we'll do our best.
What funny faces.
We'd like to be called at 8 o'clock.
Prompt. Breakfast hot and ready at 8:15.
Prompt. Coffee, rolls and cheese.
Marmalade, if you please. And toast!
I'm sure we can manage.
We're sticklers for order.
Especially in the kitchen. Can't bear slovenliness.
You tell us what you need.
When we've examined our quarters.
We will let you know of all of our objections.
should know before you make a decision.
Yes.
We keep a pet in the back room.
Yes!
Wanted to know if that would bother you.
Oh no! We're fond of pets!
They seem quite...
I hope they don't
I shouldn't think they'd...
mind.
No,
I hope he doesn't.
of course he won't.
It suits us moderately well.
Except for these articles which we would like you to dispose of.
Please! Greta, please take the lodger's belongings and put them away somewhere.
Go on! Use my room as a junk room! Make the lodgers the chief consideration! Throw food at me when you remember! You don't speak of me anymore. I still would, after a rare night's sleep, wake up and imagine I was Gregor. I still hope.
Is it more tasty now?
Yes, I think so.
Better.
You're learning! The potatoes are hot.
Very tasty.
Nice and juicy.
Don't let that disturb you. It's his feeding time.
I see. Well, in future, do you think you could stagger our meal?
It would be preferable.
To that awful noise!
Certainly. Certainly, I'm sorry it disturbed you, but I hope you enjoyed your meal.
Excellent.
Is the music disturbing you, Jen?
On the contrary, we find it quite enchanting.
I can hear the music! I'm not an animal!
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Mr. Sampson.
Good God.
What a sight! Gentlemen, please do not be disturbed by what you see. I can only offer my humblest apologies and assure you it will never happen again. Never! Now, if you would kindly go back to your room.
I see. Just like that.
No explanation.
Nothing! Somebody must have left his door open, but we'll keep it firmly locked in future.
And are we expected to live in this house with that thing at the end of the corridor?
He could escape in the middle of the night and creep down the corridor and attack us in our room.
Please, gentlemen, I assure you no such thing is possible. He's really very weak as he hasn't been too well lately.
Nothing serious, I hope. But that still doesn't explain your misconduct in not informing me when we took this room that you kept a zoo.
I did say a pet.
He said it himself, it's not well.
It's probably pathetic.
Poor politic.
It's a dung beetle.
He's really very tame.
Pestilence and dysentery.
We'll get cankered and decrepit.
Deteriorate.
And die!
It's a dangerous place to live in.
Please, gentlemen. I assure you no such thing is possible. Now, if you would kindly go back to your room so I can clean him away.
I regret to inform you that because of the disgusting conditions prevailing in this family and household, that I give you my notice on the spot. Naturally, I will not pay you a penny for leaving without notice or for the food I have eaten. On the contrary, I shall consider taking an action of damages against you.
And we too give our notice on the spot.
We must get rid of it. my brother's name in the presence of this creature. So all I say is get rid of it! We have tried to look after it and to put up with it as far as is humanly possible. I don't think anyone would reproach us in the slightest.
My child, I understand all this. But what can we do? If only we could talk to it or reason with it. But as it is, there's not much we can do.
Yes? Yes, you can, Father. We must get rid of the idea that he is Gregor. Of course it's not Gregor. If it was, he'd have gone away. He'd have known that human beings can't live with such a creature! So we wouldn't have a brother, but we'd honor his memory. This creature persecutes us, drives our lodgers away, wants this whole apartment to himself and wouldn't care if he's left in the gutter! Just look at him.
He's going back to his room.
I sensed their eyes on me to the last, full of fears and misery. I sensed the growing agony of their burden, and I knew I had to disappear. My aching body seems glad to release the life that keeps it bound in agony. The will to keep it is weakening. And Gregor is flying out. I thought of my family only with tenderness and love.
He looked at me, just as we closed the door. He turned his head. His eyes, Gregor's eyes, full of agony. He looked at me in such a way as only a child looks at his mother, as if to say, no more. No more pain. I sensed his spirit creeping out of him, reluctant to inhabit such a painful dwelling. Releasing him. Go, Gregor, go. Bear no hatred for me. Forgive. Be free. Be free, my little boy. Free. 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 Did you see how thin he'd become? It's been so long since he's eaten anything.
You know what we're going to do today? We're going to take the day off. We'll write letters to our respective employers because that's what we need.
Oh, Father, that would be so good.
They have returned to me.
What a lovely peace rests in my heart.
We'll take a tram and go into the open country. The warm sunshine flooding through the windows.
Our jobs really aren't so hard and may lead to better things. But to leave this house forever.
We'll get a smaller house. It'll be cheaper and easier to run. We can afford it now. How pretty my daughter's become.
My daughter has blossomed into a beautiful little girl. My body is grey. It will soon be time.
We must find a good husband for her. The crocuses will just be coming out.